Only one day to go until ballots are cast in Decision 2010. It is an election that could have ripple effects nationwide. And tonight we're learning how Americans might cast their votes. NBC's Deputy Political Director Mark Murray joining us live from New York City. Mark, thank you for joining us tonight. I want to point out the new NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. According to the latest numbers here, 60% of those believe the country's headed in the wrong direction. More than 70% of those prefer a GOP-controlled Congress. 19% want a Dem-held Congress. This is the GOP's to lose, right?
It is. All signs are pointing to significant gains for the Republican Party tomorrow night across the country. And the numbers that you just pointed out really tell the whole story. 60% of the country think that the country's on the wrong track, and those people are breaking disproportionately for the Republicans, according to our poll. This is really the situation. People are upset about the economy, the direction of the nation, and they're taking it out and taking out their frustrations on the incumbent party.
The President Obama, the poll shows that voters want more change from him. Elaborate on that a little bit, Mark.
Well, it is a very good question. Essentially, midterm elections are sometimes when voters want a president to put on the brakes. And right now, you look at everything that's gone on. There are people who say that the government has done too much, whether it comes to health care or regulating the financial industry. There are also some Democrats who believe that the president hasn't gone far enough. But when you look at near 10% unemployment, the fact that so many people think the country is on the wrong track, they want a new course. Now, whatever that course will be interesting, and we'll see what the president says after the elections. But right now, they are demanding change from the person who campaigned on change just 2 years ago.
Yeah, and 30 seconds left here, Mark. Per that poll, 28%, almost 30% of registered voters identify themselves as Tea Party supporters. That's a big number.
It is a big number, and they are driving this election as far as the intensity goes. One of the reasons why Republicans have an advantage among likely voters is because a disproportionate number of Tea Party supporters and fired-up Republicans want to go out to the polls. It's not necessarily that Republicans are expanding their voter base. It's just that they are getting their voters to the polls, and the people who are leading the charge right now are the Tea Party.
All right, Mark Murray, thanks for joining us live from New York City. We appreciate it. And special coverage of Decision 2010 is coming up on NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams, including live reports from across the country. Plus, what do voters want most out of this election? Nightly News starts at 6:30 on WOOD TV 8.